Hi, Jackie. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello. From the Middle East. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hi, Mar. I don't know if you guys can see the top of Penny's head, but she's just standing here getting a good butt scratch. From Paris, hello in Paris. I love how we're so connected through the internet. You can see that my face is not glowing gold today. That's because our sun is shining, but it is trying to burn through a smoky sky. We've got forest fires that have been burning up north for, it seems like weeks now. And the smoke is finally traveling south. And it is so thick out there. And we've had such crazy heat the last couple days that Penny doesn't even have enough hair or fat on her to regulate heat, to regulate temperature properly. And she's just been dying in this thing. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Shauna. I look a bit like Courtney Cox. You know, I used to get that once upon a time. Back in the days of Friends, I had the same haircut she did. But now with all her Botox and plastic surgery, we look so different. But thank you. Hi, Paula. Yeah, so Penny and I went out for a walk early this morning before the heat started creeping in and the smoke thickens. It seems like this has been going on for the last 5 years, forest fires up north. Mother Earth is replenishing. With every death, there is rebirth. That's where the phoenix rises, right? Thanks, Fesso. Bless you. I'm going to give it another minute for people to join us because the topic I'm discussing today is super important. It is it is riddled with so many things about the narcissist and flying monkeys and mental health issues. So I just want to make sure that we're giving people a couple minutes to jump on here. How many of you say affirmations every day of what it is that you're calling into your existence? I still write in a gratitude journal. I slack off sometimes. I went in to write in there yesterday and I realized that I'd slacked off for a whole 29 days. So, other things took priority. But I sat down the last couple days and I started with affirmation. Every time I write in my gratitude journal, I feel like it's an affirmation of calling my life into existence. And sometimes I find it really overwhelming to write about all the things that I'm grateful for. And other times I feel like my life is a dream and I can't even believe that I'm here sometimes. It's just because from where I was a year ago, this is a whole new ball game over here. I'm in a totally different space. 3 months, no contact, drama bonding. I feel as if I can't move on. Up and down. Sometimes I feel I hate her. That's a normal, common response. Hi, Posh Paws. Hi, Lousy Poet. That's a common response. You are going through withdrawals. You are going through an entire process of healing right now. So you're going to experience a range of emotions. And then one day you'll feel fine. And then the next day you'll be angry again. So show yourself some grace. The only one who can do that is you. So listen, yesterday in my posts, in my feed and in my story, let me introduce myself, Lise. My name's Trish. I'm a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. and I coach people out of narcissistic abuse to heal from narcissistic abuse, and I come from a place of experience. So I come with both. I come with both experience and education. So welcome to joining. So yesterday something came up in my Facebook feed memory, or someone was going through some of my posts and found one from March of 2015 or 2018. And when I started from 2015, and it was a letter, a note, a message that I got through my blog, Broadcasms, from an anonymous person. And I have been strongly advocating for mental health for many years. Since I lost a parent at 24, I've been advocating for mental health. And then I experienced my own. So this is something that I'm very passionate about. I believe awareness is key, and the more we talk about it, the more we release the stigma. So I shared this post, and it's here in my Instagram feed too if you want to see what was said, but that's not what's important. What's important is that I was being stalked by this person for years, like years. The entire time I was with the narcissist, I was being stalked by this person. And she would do it when I first came into the picture with the narcissist. She was still there. So let me explain their relationship. This woman was extremely vulnerable. Extremely, extremely vulnerable. She had some mental health issues, and she was addicted to drugs. And she met the narc. And the narc had sucked her in as a supply because she was vulnerable. He continued to use her for sex. He continued to use her as a connection for drugs. And when I say, and those two things went hand in hand, he had no emotional attachment to her. He'd drag her around to concerts. The night that I met the narc at a concert, she was there. He'd drag her around to concerts. He basically used her to fill the void in his life to find a new supply, all the while using her as a supply. They would go to swingers clubs, and he would use her so that he could have sex with other women and other men. So I came along in the picture, and he just told me, I'm getting there. Roya, I'm getting there. She was discarded old supply. Did the narc give her mental health issues and a drug problem? She had the mental health issues and the drug problem before I came along. And I never had drug issues. Trust me, ever. Okay? So she was in the picture when I came along, and she was in love with him because he had her going everywhere that he was going, doing everything. She was around 24/7. And I thought, how in God's name is this woman around and you're not seeing her? No, she's just a friend. I can hardly even get it up for her anymore when she wants to suck my cock. Like, this is how he talked about her. And this wasn't a red flag for me at the time because I actually didn't care to get involved with him. I was just hanging out and having fun. And then eventually that changes when the narc starts to love bomb you and idealize you. However, it finally got to the point where she couldn't get him the drugs he needed anymore. He could no longer bring new supplies around. And when I say new supplies, she would bring women around for him to have sex with. Then when I became more permanent in his life, he began to discard her. And I saw him discard her numerous times. And to me, at the time, I'm seeing her and I'm like, she's jealous of me. She's jealous of him. And she's just trying to stir shit up because she had broken us up a couple of times with manufactured lies about me. And every time she did that, she felt she won. She's not a narcissist. She is a woman with mental health issues, with drug addiction, and she's been psychologically abused by the narcissist. She's a flying monkey. She's been brainwashed by him. So she had been discarded. And as soon as he discarded her, I started getting all of these random emails from, because I'm a blogger. And I would blog about relationships. I would blog about, emotional, spiritual transformation, all of those things. And she would send emails to my blog, total random emails with new names, new phone, like she'd text me with new phone numbers, all of this stuff, taunting me, absolutely taunting me, calling me, bullying me. She was cyberbullying. And it went to when I first brought it to the attention of the narcissist, he said, she's just jealous. She's just jealous of you. Don't pay attention. Because I got one very specific email that told me to stop listening to the bullshit he's telling me and stop transmuting it into some Cinderella speak and pull my head out of my ass, because this man fucking destroys women. And I told him this. I showed him the email and he's like, I don't care. This is all just bullshit. It's all just jealous people. It's just this person. She's just jealous. So every time something like this came in, it would cause all of this anxiety inside of me, because the anxiety is already cropping up with the narc, because now I'm so far into the relationship that I don't even realize that I've been brainwashed by him anymore. So at all, never mind anymore. So I think she's always attacking me. She's trying to destroy me. And she was trying to destroy me. Even after I left, she was always trying to find a way back to him. She couldn't see what I had that he would want. And even when he and I had split up one of the multiple times, she latched on to Denise, who some of you have met on here. She is the one who was in a relationship with the narcissist before I was. So she had latched on to Denise and told her that I was this horrible human being, that I was fat and disgusting and gross, and she didn't see what he had seen in me and all these things. So she was already out there doing a smear campaign. But she's not a narcissist. She's a psychologically abused flying monkey. So she's trying to get back to him. And she's doing this by trying to destroy me. So when we had been apart years ago, I had started a new job in the event industry with our symphony orchestra. This was a dream come true for me, an absolute dream come true. I had wanted to be part of the symphony orchestra in some capacity since I was a musician in school. But this time I was showing up in the way of community manager, which meant I became the voice and the face of the symphony orchestra and the center that I was working for. This woman went to great lengths, immediately went to great lengths to create a fake Twitter profile of me where I'm trash talking like a whore, swearing like a villain, being repulsive. And then she created an anonymous identity for herself and took it upon herself to create another email address and write to the executive. She sent it to the CEO of the symphony orchestra that I was a disgrace to their organization, and that she was a long-standing attendee of this and supporter of the symphony orchestra, and that if I wasn't fired immediately, she would withdraw her sponsorship. And I know that this was a fake person, I knew exactly who it was because of the language that she used. I knew how she spoke. I had seen how she used her English or poor grammar in all the other previous emails. So this was all the same. It was all consistent. It was the same. The CEO came to me and brought it to my attention and asked me if this was my profile on Twitter. I said, no, this is my profile on Twitter. Asked what this person was talking about. I'm not even done my 3-month probation. I'm only there for like 6 weeks and she's pulling this crap. I ended up losing my job. And I wasn't able to get another one in the industry. That was the pinnacle for me. That was what I wanted to achieve, was being part of this amazing organization and the symphony orchestra within our city. And I lost my job. She was winning. So I kept going into these continuous states of anxiety every time I'd get an email or a message through my blogs. I haven't blogged in a long time, but I eventually shut down all access to me through my blog. You can only go there and read it now. So the last few years, since that was in 2015 that I lost my job. And it was 2016 that I ended up back with the narc. And she continued to go through any channel that she could to try and get to me. But all of this was done through cyber stalking. So unfortunately, at the time, there wasn't anything I could do. Now cyber stalking is a huge criminal offense, and should she ever rear her ugliness ever again, there are things that I can do. But when this was posted, when somebody commented on it yesterday, and someone commented on it here on Instagram also, don't give them any attention. Don't give them any attention. You guys, that's my job. My job here as an educator and a narcissistic abuse recovery coach is to make sure that you're aware that you're not alone with this stuff, that this stuff happens to other people too. I'm not the only one who's had a stalker, because a narcissist has brainwashed a flying monkey so desperately. And you know what? You're right, Roya. I was important. I was important to her because in her mind, I took something away from her. I took something away from her. She had attached herself to this person like we all do in these relationships. And she lost her sense of identity because she was his everything. She was his drug dealer. She was his sex kitten. She was his way to have sex with other people. She was his concert going buddy. She was his everything, but he loathed her. He hated her. He was disgusted by her, but she didn't care. She had been so brainwashed by him that it didn't matter because he needed her. Who else was going to get him the drugs he needed? It sounds like I had some narc traits. Teresa, I don't oh. Well, so anyway, I never did return to the industry because my reputation was ruined. It was on its way out already because of the anxiety that I was dealing with being with the narc. But she solidified it. And I didn't return to the industry. I couldn't find work in the industry. And that's okay. Because I decided it was time for a redirection anyway. And I ended up slinging beer. I was a waitress in a dingy little bar here. And I made good money, and I just got to get myself together. And then I ended up back with the narc. And I wasn't able to really rise above where I was at with him. I tried one time. I had another dream job as a brand journalist. And the job only lasted for 4 or 5 months because of the anxiety that I was going through with him. You know, so there was one consistent thing in my life. I am the common denominator 100%. I am not shirking responsibility or accountability for what I am responsible for in my life. But sometimes your external factors have a lot to do. The people you surround yourself with have a lot to do with where you go in your life. And he was my constant. He was my immediate all the time. So because I was surrounded with a low-life narcissist, Nadine, I was with him for 6.5 years on and off. Good morning, darling. So the people you surround yourself with are going to take you to that vibrational level, and that's where you're going to be. That's where you're going to create from. So all I could create from was a place of stress and anxiety all the time because I was constantly under attack. I was constantly under attack by his flying monkey. And she would never put her face forward. She would never own her name. I would get random text messages through these text apps tearing me apart on Christmas Day. And between him and her, I had zero fucking self-esteem. Zero. I was constantly living in a state of anxiety and fear. So eventually, that post came up, and it was from last year, March of last year, when I was still with the narcissist. And I've done a lot of work since then. I've done a lot of work. I've done a lot of healing. And I've done a lot of changing my circle. If she ever reached out again, it doesn't have the same power over me as it did when I was with the narcissist. Because I'm not the same person. I have an inner being now that is different than who I was being then. Somebody commented on my post yesterday about how I shouldn't be talking about the narcissist. I shouldn't, keep giving him attention. And she was kind of tooting her own horn about how she survived a narcissist also after 8 years of blah, blah, fucking blah. Like, you know what? Okay. I get it. We're all at different places of our healing, but she wasn't even looking at what I was talking about. She was so insistent on telling me how she had survived as a narcissist that she wasn't even seeing that the way she was behaving toward me as a survivor, if I was someone who wasn't strong enough to deflect her bullshit, that this could actually be traumatizing to someone. And I said, and as a survivor of narcissistic abuse, you should become aware of this. You should become very aware that what you're doing is unhealthy. I don't talk about him. I talk about my experience. I talk about my healing. I talk about how you can transform from one thing to another. I'm an educator and a narcissistic abuse recovery coach. What the fuck am I supposed to talk about? The weather? Please, guys. The one thing I do not do on here is jump on somebody else's feed and start telling them what they should or shouldn't be doing. Someone got on here and said that I shouldn't give them any attention. Remember what I said about shoulds and shouldn'ts yesterday? I shouldn't give them any attention. I should do this and I should do that. You know what? Good for you. I'm glad that you found a way to manage the stalker. I am so glad that you have found a way to manage the stalker, because this is an unhealthy person. I was unhealthy when I met the narcissist. I was emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually bankrupt. In all of those ways, I was bankrupt. So that's how I met the narcissist. I was not mentally healthy when I met him. So I know how he gets in. And I've had people tell me that I should have empathy for this woman. Or as an advocate for mental health, I should see how she's suffering. Forget about how she made me suffer. Forget about the torture I was living with for 6.5 years. I will not forget. because it's going to serve somebody else someday. I can have empathy for her from this place that I'm sitting in now, for her condition, for what she has experienced with the narcissist. I can have empathy that way. But this woman, I don't have to have empathy, so much empathy for her that she takes up physical, mental, or emotional space in my life. So when that post yesterday came up in my feed and it was commented on, I thought, what a great opportunity to have this conversation. Because some of us are dealing with stalkers. I don't know if she's ever going to come back. Every time I think she's gone, she's back. But I don't care. I don't care about her. I don't care about, did I gray rock her? Yeah, I don't. I never responded to her ever. I never did respond to her. That one that came up on my feed, that was this, I wanted to bring awareness around what cyberbullying does for mental health. That's what the post was about. And so I shared the actual message she sent me. And I trusted my gut instinct on who it was, because there's nobody else who would ever be that cruel. I was still with the narc at the time. So for as long as I was with the narc, she wanted to be with him too. It's important that we remember that when we see something that people post, it's not our job to get on there and solicit advice or opinions. Because it's not our business. We're here to support one another, and telling them what they should or shouldn't be doing or thinking or feeling or where they should be in their healing process is not your business. If someone posted something that I can relate to, then I want to be able to reach out and say, how can I help? How can I help you? How can I best be of service to you? What do you need? When we tell another survivor what we think they should be feeling or doing about their process, it's shaming them for where they're at. From one survivor to another, that's cruelty at its finest. Because we should be more understanding than anyone. And just because you're further ahead or at a different place in your healing doesn't give you the right to tell somebody else where they should be in theirs. I love this community. And I always see new people jumping on thinking that they know what's best for people that they don't even know. They don't even know you. It's not my place to tell any of you how to heal. That's your business. Even as your coach, I would never tell you how to heal. That's not my job. My job is to help you realize how to do that for yourself. I missed what you said, Roya. I'm sorry, love. I've never given the flying monkey. I wanted to destroy the new supply for ruining my dream marriage. Don't you thank her now? Don't you bless her for ruining your dream marriage? It was more like a nightmare, wasn't it? I've never given the flying monkey who was mentally unstable the time of day. Yeah. You know, and I never gave her the time of day when she tried to latch on to me when we were together. when he and I were together. She tried to latch on to me because she felt like if she latched on to me, then she'd still be in. She'd still be connected to him. And she started love bombing me and idealizing me at the beginning too. And understand, these are all learned behaviors. She learned those from the narc, and she watched him do those things to me. So if she could do those things to me, then she could attach to me and be in with me. I had to exorcise her like the devil, you know? And I used to think that I ever spoke her name, I'd be summoning the devil. Same thing that I believe with the narcissist. I don't feel that anymore. Samir, you're already part of this community. You're here. This is us. This is us. We show up for each other every single day. We support each other in our posts. Samira. Yeah, so, we support each other in our posts. We support each other in conversation. We have direct messages going back and forth. We meet in these lives. We watch each other's Instagram TVs, we're bonded this way. So welcome, and thank you for joining us. Because the more the merrier, and that's truth here. The more the merrier. We have our own Good Vibe Tribe. This is the Good Vibe Tribe. And I've gone a little past, it's 9:30 on the half hour. I felt it was important to talk about the stalker, and not in a way that objectified her or villainized her. She is who she is. She's not in my life. She has her own set of problems. And should she ever come around again, I will deal with it if and when it ever happened. Here's what I know about this work I'm doing now. The narc's afraid that if he steps forward, he'll be exposed. Why would he? Why would he want to attach himself to me in any capacity? And same thing with her. She knows that she'll be exposed. So when we start speaking into our truth, and we start speaking into awareness, everything else falls away. The bad shit falls away. Those narcs fall away. Their flying monkeys fall away. When you shift your vibration, they can't raise their vibration. They can't. They don't know how. Narcs have one vibration, and it's low-level energy all the time. Just remember, you can rise above it. I'm not going to keep going on. It's 9:32. It's past the half hour. Thank you all for showing up today. Hi, Zen. I'm just signing off. Thank you all for showing up today. Be aware. Be aware of how you show up and support one another, because that's what's important. Don't get caught in spinning tails. Don't get caught in telling the story. Support each other in raising your vibration and lifting one another up. I have the workshop for discovering your inner badass, so you can start discovering your true inner self and your badass self. That workshop is up. You can click the link in my bio if you want to book for the session or for that workshop, or you want to book some one-on-one time with me. Their links are all there. There's also a really great documentary in that link tree that I shared about narcissism. Please have a watch. It's so incredible. It's 18 minutes long. Share it. Talk to people. We're heading June 1st. This Saturday is Narcissistic Abuse Awareness Day. Sign up for the WNAAD.com summit. It's free. Be there. And book some time with me. I'd love some one-on-one time with you. I love you guys. You're killing it. You're absolutely killing it. So until next time, I'm holding you in my highest energy of love and healing. Always stay badass and go rock the day.